An absolutely shocking turn of events that nobody saw coming whatsoever, especially after Oliver Oates was resigned from his position as team principal of the Alpine Formula 1 team. Jack Doohan has been replaced by Franco Colapinto at Alpine. I never saw this coming. I definitely didn't say last night when I recorded that video. That video, by the way, I've literally posted, an hour or two before this one? It might actually come out at the same time as this one with some of the different platforms. And yeah, Colapinto's in the car, which, look, before anybody says it, I got a lot of Argentine subscribers on here. I respect you guys. I like you guys. I like chatting with you guys. I think Colapinto is a better driver than Jack Doohan. I think it's really clear with how this season's gone for Doohan and how last season went for Colapinto. So from a performance point of view, it absolutely makes sense. No problem with it whatsoever. To be honest with you, I'm not that annoyed about this. It's more Oaks and his sacking. That has really been quite ridiculous. And I've done a video already going over that. But yeah, Franco Colapinto is going to be in the car for Imola. It was heavily rumoured that he was going to be in the car for Miami, and that kind of died away a little bit. But he had an absolutely shocking weekend, did Jack Doohan in Miami. And unfortunately for him, he broke the golden rule. He criticised the team and he criticised indirectly Flavio Briatore. I know he didn't say anything about Flav, but at the end of the day, he, of course, criticised the team. And we all know what Flavio's like. He's rather fragile when it comes to criticism like this, so he's always going to give you the boot, even if you are literally one of his drivers. But let me just read out this full statement here. Alpine have done a full statement on it, probably a longer one than what they did for Oaks, all of 5 sentences I think it was, and no word whatsoever from Flavio Briatore, unsurprisingly, because I'm pretty sure those two had a pretty big falling out. But let me just read out what's been said here on the F1Chronicle.com, guys, and I'll give some more of my thoughts at the end. I think from a performance point of view, it absolutely makes sense, and I hope Colapinto does well. I do feel for Jack, but he hasn't performed. And I said this in my 5 rookies reviewed thing after the first 5 races of the season. I gave Jack Doohan a 4 out of 10. I'm pretty sure for his performance levels. He's just not performed in Formula 1, unfortunately. Either the pressure's got to him, or he was never quite talented enough in the first place. I think it's more the pressure getting to him. But hey, this is Formula 1. It's a high pressure cooker environment. It's the pinnacle of motorsport, and if you don't perform, you're out. I personally think that drivers should be given a whole season to kind of prove themselves, but not everybody shares that viewpoint. I understand that. So anyway, Colapinto in the car for Imola. As part of an ongoing assessment of its driver lineup, the team has made the decision to rotate one of its race seats for the next 5 rounds of the Formula 1 World Championship. So this is not a change that is going to be for the whole season, although presumably if Colapinto performs well, gets some points, which Jack Doohan did not manage to do, he'll be in the car for the rest of the season. A bit like with Williams, how if things didn't work out in the very short term, they could have done something else, but yeah, he performed well in that car, didn't he, last season. BW Team Alpine Formula 1 team therefore announces that Franco Colapinto will be paired with Pierre Gasly from the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix ahead of a new evaluation before the British Grand Prix in July. Jack Doohan remains an integral part of the team and will be the first choice reserve driver for this period of time. Franco, who was one of the team's test and reserve drivers, will race the number 43 on the A525 and will partner Pierre Gasly for the first time in Imola ahead of 3 races in 3 weekends in Europe, which also covers the Monaco Grand Prix and Spanish Grand Prix before 2 races in June for the Canadian and Austrian Grand Prix. Flavio Briatore had his word on it. I don't really care what you have to say, to be honest. The full article, like I said, is on the F1 Chronicle if you want to see what he said about this. But let's have a look at what Franco and Jack have said, because this is bound to be interesting here. Firstly, I want to thank the team for giving me the opportunity to drive competitively for the next 5 races. I will work hard with the team to prepare for the next race in Imola and the upcoming triple header, which no doubt will be intense and a big challenge for everyone. I have stayed sharp and I am as ready as possible with the team's race support testing program, as well as on the simulator in Enstone. I will do my best to get up to speed quickly and give it my all to deliver the best possible results alongside Pierre. Jack Doohan said the following: I am very proud to have achieved my lifelong ambition to be a professional Formula 1 driver, and I will forever be grateful to the team for helping me achieve that this season. Obviously, this latest chapter is a tough one for me to take because as a professional driver, naturally I want to be racing. That said, I appreciate the team's trust and commitment. We have long-term goals as a team to achieve, and I will continue to give my maximum efforts in any way I can help to achieve those. For now, I will keep my head down, keep working hard, watch with interest, rest in the next 5 races and keep chasing down my own personal goals. Yeah, it's sad for Jack, but like I said, he hasn't performed well. He really hasn't. And you know, a first lap puncture in Miami. He was nowhere during the sprint race. It's not great, is it? He's not scored any points. He's one of the few drivers to not score any points. Pierre Gasly's been in and around the points the last few races. Yeah, I understand it. I do. I don't have a massive problem with this, really. I don't. You know, you might get that impression from my intro, but I'm just annoyed about Oliver Oakes because it's very clear that to me that he's been ousted, been forced out of the team, made to look as though he's resigned because Flavio's like, no, we want Colapinto in the car for the next race. I'm tired of waiting. And you can kind of tell with Oakes that Oakes was on a similar kind of thinking to what I was saying, you know. Every driver, every rookie should get a full season to prove themselves. They need time in the car. But Briatore wants results now, which I get. You know, you want results now. And it's not like they're putting in a very experienced driver who's going to be a bit of a stopgap till they get some young talent in. Colapinto is that young talent. And he's a very good talent at the end of the day as well. I really do rate him highly. And I think he'll do well. I think he'll do better than what Doohan has done. You know, I think he's going to probably get points within the next few races. Although that Alpine, yes, it is better than it was 12 months ago, but it's not great. They're in 9th in the constructors for a reason. You know, even if they've had 2 Pierre Gasly's in there, they'll probably only be up in 8th, you know. So it's not a great car. It's going to be a challenge for him, but Williams were in a similar position last season when he joined them. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, guys. But yeah, Colapinto in the car for Imola and the next 4 races after that. Correct decision. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world today, guys. Unless you're in Aussie, I can imagine you're not particularly happy about this decision.